wetu. Amkeni ndugu zetu, tufanye sote bidii, nasi tujitoe kwa nguvu. Nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, tuwe tayari kuilinda na tujenge taifa letu. Ndio wajibu wetu. Kenya istahili heshima, tuungane mikono pamoja kazini, kila siku tuwe na shukrani.
Yes, good evening, viewers. This is 60 minutes on Africa 24. Today, it's a sad moment for the country of Kenya as we lay down our beloved one who lost his life, Rex. I saw the funeral being attended by the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and it was very emotional to see what really happened at St. Stephen. So these heroes, we pay tribute to them for what they have fought for, and we have seen the results of the struggle for this country. We made a lot of strides this today when the president had a meeting with the General Z's on X Pace. I'm joined this evening by one Boniface Kimanzi to shed some light on the future of this country and discuss the meeting with the president and what we see in those meetings, whether they will bear fruit, because the president has been dubbed President Muongo, a liar. So here with me in the studio and in the comment section, we have got a number of people viewing this channel. And if you're here for the first time, please care to subscribe to our channel and also participate in the comment session of Afrique 24. Go to YouTube, look for Afrique 24 and make sure that you have subscribed. If you're watching us from X, just stay on X, but make sure that anytime you are on YouTube, you have subscribed to Afrique 24. That is the only way we are motivated to come here every day and give you these wonderful stories about our country and contribute towards national building. Welcome to the studio. One, Boniface Kimanzi is a regular panelist here. Say hi to the viewers and tell them where you are.
Hi, I'm Uzalendo. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I'm joining from Nairobi, Kenya, to be specific, Dangoreti, south there. So I welcome all our viewers from wherever they are. You are in East Africa, you are in America, UK, Saudi Arabia, that is the Middle East. You are in every part of the country, and also in every part of the world. Welcome to Africa 24. Of course, as I always say, we keep you informed, entertained, and also educated, because this is a 24-hour channel whereby we have a lot of programs that take place here. But of course, every day we should have a political show. That is why we are here to brief you on what happened when it comes to politics in Kenya. To be specific, again, without forgetting, today we had the Euros 2024 quarterfinals first session, whereby, as I have seen, Giants have bid goodbye to this competition. The likes of Germany, the likes of Portugal, and as we speak now, a few minutes ago, Portugal has been eliminated by France. They played 90 minutes, they went to extra time, they played penalties, and that is where uh, France have secured the spots to play in the next round. Worry not, for the Germans, we are sorry the machines could not work in this Euro tournament. Of course, thank you, Mzalendo and Africa 24.
I know your love for soccer, and it goes without any doubt that you had to mention your love for soccer, uh, and well, let's get back to the stories making headlines in Kenya today. One story is about the mass for Rex. Rex was murdered by trigger-happy policemen who the president has promised to ensure that they are prosecuted. We are waiting to see whether that will happen. Uh, the former prime minister attended this particular function. Let us listen to what was said at St. Stephen's Church. St. Stephen's Church historically is a very place where most of the political decisions are made, and it was an honor for the church to agree to conduct the mass for Rex at the Anglican Church, although he is not an Anglican. Let's listen to the Prime Minister.
Used to go to him at the All Saints Cathedral. But one time, his leg was swollen. And we got him from the All Saints Cathedral, walking with him all the way to Kamkunji. And they were throwing tear gas at us. Later on, he even took us back to St. Cathedral where we were hiding with him. This reverend here. At that time, were the church leaders who were true to the liberation struggle. Yes. Today, the religious leaders are summoned like servants to go to State House. And they go there with prepared speeches to make. The church must speak the word of God and stand firm with the children of God. The church should not be subservient to the temporal power. The church should sympathize and stand on the side of the people of this country and speak truth to power. If things go wrong, take truth to power. When children of this country come out in their large numbers to say something is wrong, the church itself should stand with these children. The Gen Z, they told me, Baba, kaa nyumbani. Umefanya ya kutosha. Tutaendelea. Niko nyumbani, lakini niko behind you. What this country now requires is a serious dialogue, a comprehensive dialogue that will be able to fix all the things that have gone wrong, deal with issues of unemployment of our youth, the issues of corruption, the issues of ethnicity and tribalism and nepotism.
Well, well, that was the prime minister in the funeral. I think that was the funeral. That was not the funeral for. That was not for Rex, but rather for Maina Wanjigi's dad, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
find the clip for Rex mass at St. Stephen's, so that we can share some of the insights of what people had to say during. There were so many wonderful stories during that mass, but the big story this evening is the meeting of President William Ruto. Ruto amekutana na the General Z on Express.
Generation Z.
Generation Z, Generation Z, on Express. And the issue discussed and the achievement by the General Zs, uh, that was a national kind of dialogue. President Ruto engaged this generation after the generation complained a lot about the country, the way it was being run. One thing that we have always said that we salute this generation for what they did on that particular day when they had their first demonstration. And then the second one was also very successful, but infiltrated by goons. During the meeting with President Ruto, the Generation Z community discussed several pressing national issues were discussed that are really pressing to the nation and to them specifically. Kimanzi, this generation is not far away from your generation. They were discussing about unemployment, high cost of living, the debt tax and corruption in Ruto's government. And is Ruto ready to end corruption in his government? These are some of the youth's concern during the discussions. I will play some of the panelists on the space who are able to share their views and, of course, criticizing the president. This kind of freedom can only be found in Kenya. You cannot find any of these freedoms anywhere in Africa. We have achieved a lot. We have achieved a lot as a country, and more importantly, having a direct dialogue with the president and telling the president that we actually employed you. If we have employed you, then do the job. Do the job. Do the job, Mr. President. Before we get into the details of that story, maybe we can play the clip for X. Do you have it ready? My director on the other side, can you play?
But my main point was corruption, whether it's an HIF or chief. I told you 300 million paid to fake claims, around 9 million today, early in the morning. Will this stop in the new system? Is that since you came into power now 2 years ago, the only thing you keep mentioning is the price of Unga going down and the housing project, which we do know very well will not be occupied with the common Mwananchi like me. So do you have another project that you can always tell us? The things you promise, a lot of things from police killings, that things are happening. Which one are you going to address other than the two of price of Unga and housing? Now, in the police thing, there's somebody, as someone has told you, you have not addressed, someone was asking, there's a police that killed somebody, is believed to have killed the first Rex, the first death of the protests. Still roaming. Yesterday, the other day was seen in a video shooting directly to a crowd. I didn't see the end of the bullets. I cannot tell the crowd to a wall. What is happening to this? When are these people getting arrested? what is the CI doing about them? Why is it that the nobodies are getting arrested, arraigned in court in very few days, but then the big boys are just sitting somewhere eating our taxes? What are you doing about them? What is your direction to address this issue?
Thank you.
So, and also, if you notice something in the pattern, there are the last Mandamano, the recent one that was full of goons. How come the first four, there were no this violence? But then there is the last one, with coffin in town and police entertaining these people dropping the coffin from the lorry, as well as seen packing them back in the lorry in the evening. It's clear that somebody was behind this and the police could not touch the very people that were doing this. But when it was another person with a phone and a bottle of water, they get shot, they get tear gassed. What is happening? Why do you speak A and do C? What instruction are you giving to the police? Yesterday I saw that you are praising the police for having done a good job professionally. Well, people died. What are we praising here? What Kenya are we looking at? So can we just match the word with the action? We've been talking too much. We see you on TV every day. Now we're on space. When are we getting to see action? Let me give space for other people. Thank you.
Also, Mr. President, have you tried to reach the families of those who were shot dead by the police or injured by the police? Even a single one? Have you tried to reach even their mothers?
Thank you very much. Let me just speak to two of the things that you have. Yes, I have tried to reach out to Kennedy Onyango's mother, Jessica Onyango. And in fact, I am scheduled to engage with them. I have already sent a message, and they were not available, but they know that I have been looking for them, and I will be speaking to them shortly. On the matter of this rogue police officer that you say is roaming, that is something that I would want to get exact details of who this is, and I can tell you that we will apprehend him and deal with him in accordance with the law. But let me answer also what my friend...
We'll send you video and pictures.
Pardon? Pardon?
If you're having a difficult locating the police, we have videos and pictures of them.
Okay.
So that should be easy.
Please forward the picture and photos to me, to Hussein, my spokesman here, and also I would appreciate if you can send it to also my inbox if you can, or if you can send it to the Independent Police Oversight Authority. We will deal with it. But let me also respond to you about matters corruption. I want to promise you that part of the pushback we had on implementing our universal health coverage is because of corruption. Very many corrupt people who are gaming NHIF were against what we were doing. That is why they went to every court available, trying to sabotage this program, because they know that they will be out of business once we roll out this program, because there will be no room for them to hide. It is also the reason why, my good friend, I am digitizing government services, because I want to reduce the interaction between Kenyans and officers who sometimes ask for bribes left, right, and center. I want Kenyans to access public service from the comfort of their offices or their phones or their homes. But let me speak to the subject of corruption in that matter. Number one, we will operate a digital system through and through, whether it is with KEMSA, we are digitizing KEMSA, we are digitizing commodity distribution, we are digitizing matters to do with the all health hospitals. In fact, the program that is going on now, we have grouped hospitals into PCNs, where we are grouping a number of hospitals into one PCN in every sub-county, so that we can identify where these hospitals are, and we are working with the counties. I know you have said that the only thing I talk about is unga and housing. Let me also tell you, the whole housing plan is not just about houses, my brother. It is about real people, real jobs. Jobs in our industries that manufacture cement, jobs in our industries that manufacture steel, jobs in our industries that manufacture clinker, jobs, engineers, architects, accountants, HR managers, and many people who are working in that ecosystem. And beyond that, let me also tell you, my manifesto is a 5-year manifesto. What you are what I am doing now is a cut. There will be an exam in 5 years, and I will tell you, when I do the exam in 5 years, you will see the results. Number two, beyond what I am doing on the space of jobs around housing, I am actively doing a big program on digital jobs. I was in Ruto the other day, launching with CCI a digital hub that is hiring, as I talk to you today, 5,000 Kenyans in Ruto. I challenge you, you can go to Ruto tomorrow to CCI, you will find them working. And they are not the only ones. We have 140,000 Kenyans today who are working in different parts of Kenya, in TVETs, in ICT hubs, who are not working before I came to office. Today they are working because I have a very clear plan on digital jobs. When I talked in my manifesto about digital superhighway, it was not a write-up. It was not an essay to implement. As I talk to you, we are rolling out fiber optic using our power lines across Kenya. And in this year's budget, I had set money to work with the constituencies, with members of parliament, to make sure that there is an ICT hub in every ward in Kenya, where young people in ordinary places in every ward can have access to the internet, to computers, and to make sure that these young people are trained and they can have access to a digital platform where they can work. As I talk to you, listen to me carefully, 149 to be exact, 1,000 young people who you can contact today are monetizing their talent on the digital platform, working under the program that I have set up. So it is not just housing, it is not digital jobs only. Let me also tell you, today, because of the program that I have rolled out on matters to do with export of our labor.
Well, you've had a brief of what the president was saying. Mr. Kimanzi, what do you make of that before I go on?
First, I want to say that was so good for President William Ruto to have a meeting with the Gen Z. Of course, this direct interaction with the president is something that is so good, and I think Kenyans were happy with what President did today. And personally, I will say that was a good move for the President William Ruto. This shows how he is very keen by engaging the public when it comes to decisions. And of course, when I saw what was happening, I just came to a conclusion that William Ruto is such a kind of a leader who can listen to what people are saying, because he now knows that he has made a mistake, and maybe he will correct with time. So what I can say is that President is a human being, and I have seen the clip whereby President was praying after the end of the X phase, and I was so worried. Actually, because I'm a human being, I felt for him because people were complaining more about him. So he prayed with a lot of emotions. So he made a mistake. He has been betrayed by the people around him. That's why today he even banned them from attending their rambles. But again, I will always say that that was so good for William Ruto, because engaging the public and also hearing from the Gen Z directly, that was a very good move, because I have even seen some of them asking president very tough questions that are even abusive. Because I heard someone calling him Baba Ruto, Baba Recho, Baba Chalin Ruto. You know, and the guy was asked the name, and he mentioned the name. I don't know what would happen. Anyway, that was a very good move. Actually, I'm so happy for William Ruto. Because he engaged the public and also making sure that Gen Z decisions have been heard. That's why he came through and listened to that express. Although people have raised a lot of complaints saying that this is something that was planned, that was change marked, and whatever. You know, this is online, and we are moving from analog to digital. From my point of view, this is a good move for President William Ruto. Maybe with the time he can change this country. Yeah, that is all what I can say. I'm not leaning on either side, but just saying that that was a good move for William Ruto.
Kimanzi, you are very right. The president seemed to be very emotional, especially this thing. I think has really affected William Ruto. He has never seen anything of that kind of magnitude. This is the first in Africa where, and I believe the first in our generation to see young people taking on the government and asking them the right questions. This is something that we have not achieved in many years. We saw Azimio calling for maandamano, and all they could end up doing is, scaring a bit the government, and they never came to any kind of discussions. No, it resulted to the NADCO report, which is not which is not available anymore. I think it has been overtaken by events. The Gen Z's demands are now part of what we want to see the government implementing. And do you think that the president answered the questions correctly? Even guys in the comment section, Goodyear, thank you for tuning in. We love your company. We want you to ask the right questions, and we see whether we can deliberate on them. Uh, Personally, I have a positive feeling that the country is headed towards the right direction. If the leadership can now listen to the people, then we are okay with that. Now, people want Ruto out of government. I feel that we should give him a chance. I believe in giving people a second chance. And it is time that he gets a second chance and prove that he can indeed be a good president and leave a legacy for this young generation. What do you think? What do you make of it, Mr. Boni?
Yeah, we can give him a second chance because if he came through today and listened to the Kenyans, this shows
Well, why,
how.
why, why would you want to give him a second chance? And every time you've been saying that Ruto is a liar, yeye ni muongo,
You know, I'm a
atawadanganya.
human being. Me, I'm a
Mm,
human being, and I've listened to him speaking today. He is
mm.
so stressed, man. Again, the way he's talking is so emotional. Again, maybe he can change and try to do whatever he promised to Kenyans, or he will not. So we will just know from today because he just came and listened to the Kenyans. Now we want to see the actions. Actions are what Kenyans just want because they are tired by words of mouth. So maybe he can start working and and do whatever he promised. Of course, we want to see action. As one of the panelists there asked him, why does he keep on lying instead of giving us actions?
And on the issue of unemployment, I don't think the government really addressed it properly, or the youths were able to articulate the issue of unemployment the way I would have wanted them to articulate it. In the issue of unemployment, there is a lot of tribalism and nepotism. Do you think they tackled this particular issue very well vis-a-vis the incidents that have been happening? Hii government ni ya mashares sisi kama Wakikuyu tunataka share zetu, sisi kama Wakale we have to employ so many people. That issue did not really come out clearly in today's space meeting, or maybe I missed it, Mr. Kimanzi.
Yeah, yeah. Kenya, some of the hosts there, some of the people there were asking questions. But again, William Ruto is very good in answering questions. So out of all of them, he was just answering every question. But again, the issue here, the main issue was corruption and bad leadership, and also the ongoing protests. So those are the key things that I heard from the space. And more about corruption, as he had given a press earlier before joining the space, he had banned some of the things that are happening in the country, and also making sure that the government now is headed to the right direction. I think most of Kenyans were happy seeing uh, some of the species in this government being scrapped, and also suspending a lot of things. Again, more about nepotism, corruption, and also making this government go in the wrong direction. I will always say the problem that we have in this government is people who surround William Ruto, because even the communication team, the people who are selected to lead the communication, are letting the President William down. So I would say William Ruto choosing Hussein Mohammed, and also a spokesperson, that is government spokesperson, Isaac Mwaura. That was a big mistake. You need to get some people who are very convenient with communication, someone who can give exact details, because you can just detect from what he was saying. He is struggling to know what is happening. He's a president, he has a lot of things. So those guys, like, they just sleep, they don't give information about what is happening. So I would say that those guys are asleep. President is struggling. I heard him speaking. Today, even from the sound that someone is making from the conversation, you can hear that this someone is struggling. So that is what I can say. All the people around William Ruto are the one who have failed him. He has good ambition for this country, but again, the people who help him carry on this duty are the one who are letting him down.
Thank you. I can see on the comment section we have Paris, Washington. She says that she's listened to many of these talk shows. Most of them were talking and waiting for the return back to abroad to take positions created after overthrowing the government. I pity them. You did not listen to them. As a parent, I am so happy. Paris said, I want to share this one. This one was very, very insightful and a good one. Uh, she says that I've watched different shows in different platforms, and so many panelists have advocated for violence and to overthrow the government. But you guys chose to do the right thing. No, no, Paris, we have got only one country. We have got only one country called Kenya. If we ban Kenya, we don't have any other country. We become refugees. We don't know the outcome of banning your own country. You'll become a refugee in Somalia. You become a refugee in Sudan. You become a refugee in Rwanda. Your beautiful home back there will be occupied by goons, so people who have got guns. So you'll never know what happened. But I want to also thank the disciplined, I said, mark my words, the disciplined forces, not the gun trotting policemen who killed these young people who had just an handkerchief and a flag. That trigger happy policemen out there. Those people who are probably hired to cause a lot of terrorism. Those policemen who are kidnapping, who are abducting, and later on killing the young person. The most painful part of this story is that, for a young person, somebody of 18 years old or 20 years old or 25 or even 26, nobody deserves to die. They have a future ahead. So you can imagine you've been abducted by the policemen, and you are crying. A 20-year-old, 21, would be crying for help, from the from God, from wherever, for asking for forgiveness, are telling them, just spare my life. That is exactly what, but they end up in a river somewhere. That is what we need to address as a country. This is the time of reckoning. These things should not happen in a decent society, a democratic society where the rule of law prevails. We should not have this kind of killings. We don't advocate for them. We chose here on Africa to do the right thing, and the right thing is to ensure that the government also listens to the people. Every time we talk on this platform, we advise the president, we advise the leaders, we tell them that your communication team is not doing a good job, Mr. President. We would not have reached to this particular juncture if the president had a good cabinet that could communicate and articulate the government agenda and talk about the budget. If you had a finance CS who could talk about the matters of finance, if you had a treasury that is interactive and telling us about the debt, and now we are going to the debt audit. This is something that has been in the public gallery and arena. People are talking about the debt and the debt audit. We need to know how much the country is paying. Don't, as a president, you don't really have to suffer because of the sins of other leaders. You also need to come out clearly and say, I am borrowing to finance this. I am borrowing to facilitate this. Don't just be on a borrowing spree. I am glad, Kimanzi, you are in Nairobi. I'm in Virginia. I am glad that the streets of Nairobi are now clear of sirens. We no longer see the CSs you used to overlap in the streets. Barabara iko namna gani, ndugu yangu bana? Hmm.
Nairobi kila kitu iko sawa, mambo ni shwari, barabara ni nywee, hakuna hii ni yangu, hii ni yako. So barabara za Nairobi kila kitu iko sawa na watu wako regulated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Haya, unaona kuwa yani kuna matumaini katika nchi yetu ya Kenya.
Ijapo hatuoni matumaini kuanzia mwaka wa 2022, lakini ukiangalia vile mambo tumekuwa tuking'ang'ana sana sisi kama Wakenya. Tumekuwa na serikali ya William Ruto. Watu wengi walikuwa na imani sana serikali ya William Ruto itaweza kubadilisha nchi yetu ya Kenya, lakini bado ukiangalia vile anafanya kazi yake ni kama anafanya kazi peke yake. Alileta watu pale ambao hawaelewi kazi. Kuanzia kwa mawaziri. Mawaziri unajua ndio wanatumika na rais kuendesha nchi ya Kenya. Vile vile ukiangalia wale mawaziri hawafanyi kazi, wamelegea. So ukiangalia vile wanafanya kazi, unaweza sema kwamba wanatumia ile nafasi kunyakua mali ya Wakenya. Ndio maana hatuendi vizuri, lakini vile ameongea leo William Ruto ambaye ni rais wa Kenya ni kama atafanya mambo, na maybe akiondoa katika ile cabinet, of course tunaweza pata maendeleo katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Uzuri tukiona tukiendelea vizuri kama wenzetu Tanzania pale, South Africa huko chini, tutafurahia, maana kuendelea vizuri kama nchi ya Kenya itakuwa ni jambo nzuri na itafanya ile economy rate yetu ipande juu na tutakuwa tunaendelea vizuri kama nchi ya Kenya. Kuna matumaini kama rais atabadilika na afanye mambo vile alikuwa na anaambia Wakenya wakati wa zile kampeni mwaka wa 2022.
The president has called for a national dialogue. I saw congratulations to the lady who is now the chairman of LSK Society. She's been very, very instrumental in trying and ensuring that there is the legal part of uh, of this unrest, especially the killings and all that, is addressed. And she, in particularly, went to visited Kenyatta Hospital and saw the victims that documented the evidence and the extent of which police brutality in this country is. So LSK this time round, they got it so right, getting the right person into office. So some of these things, Kimanzi, I still strongly believe that Kenya is in an institutional crisis, meaning that the constitution created some institutions. When you talk about corruption, for instance, we have EACC. Ni nini mbaya sana na EACC that we can't see people are being prosecuted. Instead, we see them going to on television telling us, we are investigating this and this, and nothing ends up in court. EACC iko na shida gani? This is what people want to see. People are stealing. A governor comes in just the other day. Today he has got a castle, a mansion. Some of them are built level 4 hospitals in their names using proxies. Yeah. I saw an interview by one MP, a very, very young MP called Selassie. He could not even, he could not say, he could not tell us the name of the contractor in his own village in Mumias, who has got a job of 50 million. He's being cornered by Gen Zs. Hey, please tell us the name of the contractor who is doing a KMTC in your own constituency who you have given a tender. He didn't want even to mention the name of the contractor. This is corruption. This is corruption. Then he comes out with a pay slip of 2,000 Kenya shillings. Yet we know that they have a mileage allowance. These are the issues that we are asking the president to address and address urgently before another uprising by Gen Z. And I think this time it can be even much, much, much bigger if we don't address these issues. Kimanzi.
Yeah. What I can say is that President William Ruto needs to take actions immediately, because what Kenyans want are immediate actions. Prove to us what you promised during the campaigns. So William Ruto, maybe he needs to get into the box and make sure that he starts working from the spot, as he heard what Kenyans are saying. Although he was asked a lot of questions, but he is good in dodging questions. So he was just trying to escape some of the questions. But him taking time, almost 3 hours to come and join, that was a very good idea. And also Kenyans were happy. And of course, Kenyans are always against, and they always like criticizing things. But what I can say is that he needs to take action immediately. He needs to start working, because this is the only way that he is going to gain trust back to Kenyans. If you perform to Kenyans, then that is all. That is all what Kenyans want. But Kenyans, since independence, they have not gotten a leader who can just prove to them whether he is ready for job or not.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And let me welcome Roy to the studio. Karibu sana. I think this is your first time on Uh, Afrique YouTube channel. Karibu sana, and we welcome you in this particular session of 60 minutes. Tell us where you are, where you're listening from, and greet the audience. We are discussing about Ruto's speech and the achievements of the young generation in our country. Karibu sana, and unmute your mic. Roy, if you can listen, if you are listening, please unmute your mic and speak. Yes, I can hear you now. Can you talk? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you, but get closer to your. Hello. Can you hear what we are saying? Okay, please log out and come back. Maybe refresh and then come back. I think you have got a very funny gadget that can't allow you to speak. As Roy prepares to to tell us what he feels. Kimanzi, there was a lot that was discussed in today's 3-hour session by the Gen Zs, and some of the issues we have discussed them on this particular platform. We need to revisit them and see if they are really practical, or the government wanted just to cool the situation and we get back to normal. On the issue of the cabinet reshuffle, it's also something that is out there. People are talking about it. They want a cabinet reshuffle. So on this particular issue, look at the screen. Debt, taxation, and corruption. President Ruto expressed readiness to engage in discussions about national issues such as debt, taxation, unemployment, and corruption, as raised by the Gen Zs. So, viewers, whatever you are listening to, I have put for you the issues that were very important to the Gen Zs, and also not included in that screen is the extrajudicial killing that happened, the police brutality that happened, that is part of the discussions. And you heard what the president said when he was told that the policeman who shot Rex is still on duty. And do you remember what he said about that, Mr. Kimanzi?
Yeah. President said that he is going to make sure that whoever was involved in those activities, the rogue
And
police officers.
yes, and actually directed the Gen Zs to give the clip to Hussein Mohammed. So Hussein, rafiki yangu Hussein, fanya kazi hapo. We have been on your neck. You need now to pull up your sleeves and do the right thing. You are in communication. You need to communicate very well the government agenda together with Mwaura. I think Mwaura should be fired. He should be fired or taken to another ministry. This guy, I don't think, is too political to occupy that particular position. They need to look for Alfred Mutua. Alfred Mutua would have done a very good job as the communication man for William Ruto. If you are listening to me, Mr. President, please listen. This is the best advice I can give you. You need somebody with experience in propaganda, and somebody who is articulate, and somebody who will receive the bashing on your behalf. The thing is, you are receiving each and every blow on your neck, on your legs, on your tummy, everywhere, on your eyes, because you have decided to defend your people, to defend the people that you employed, the cabinet ministers who are doing a very bad job, who are so inexperienced, yeah, and you are trying to cover them. You know, Kimanzi, do you remember the president coming out and saying that, some of my ministers come late for cabinet meetings and they don't know what is happening in their ministry? That was a red flag already. Hmm? What do you make of that?
Yeah, I will always say this. When it comes to William Ruto cabinet, he needs to send all of them home. No one
When
is qualified for this job. No one
wewe
is qualified for job. No one. We
hata
need to get new.
yani kwa hii cabinet ya William Ruto hakuna mtu anafanya job. Guys in the
No.
comment section, please, do you agree with us? Please tell us if you are listening, if you are tuned on X, tafadhali. For me to see your comment, you need to subscribe on Afrique on YouTube. Otherwise, I'll be logging in and out to see what you're saying on X. But I believe you are having a good discussion and a good time on X. Please just take the opportunity. It's si kazi ngumu sana, so that we can have you on the comment section. There is a lot of discussions happening in the comment section. I would also want to put your views out there. If you are on X, please subscribe. I know you are on Africa X platform, but I want you to be also a subscriber on our YouTube channel. That way, you keep us, we keep in touch, and we can communicate to you directly on what we are also doing here in the studio. So Kimanzi, the issue of debt, Maina Wanjigi addressed this issue of debt. Kenya is paying. Unajua, kama uko na deni, mara mingi kama niko na deni ya mama mboga, unakumbuka nikikwambia ile story yangu ya deni ya mama mboga, ananipatia list kila saa ya ile deni niko nayo siku fulani ulichukua mboga ya 20, unakumbuka? Ati sikumbuki. Then anakumbuka ulikuja hata na nguo kama umevaa hivi na hivi, ukachukua hiyo deni na nikakuongezea nyanya. Unakumbuka hiyo siku Kimanzi?
Yeah. Of course, I can remember that day. But when
So
when
the
it comes to
issue of our debt is the same.
yeah, Kenya, we are operating with a lot of debt. We are just owed by a lot of countries. My only question that I always ask myself is, when shall we be free from those debts? Who will set us free from those debts? So I think if one day we shall just wake up and see our country having zero debt, then that is the first move that will take as a country, and it will be a starting point for developing this country. Because if you are operating with debts, then of course you will be paying anything you get. You're going to pay. So let's see how we can cancel this debt. Does it mean that we don't have economics in this country who can help us solve this debt? We have a lot of ways to get money. You can get money through different ways. There is different ways of collecting money through the government. So what we can say is that if one day we can wake up and find that we have zero debt, that is the first move that we'll be having in our country for development.
Yeah, you are right. You are right, Kibanzi. We need to address the issue of debt. We need to know how much we owe, so that we can even plan ourselves. So that even if you are paying something, we make sure that that money goes to the right to the right place. Right now we are borrowing to pay some debt, and yet we don't know hata kama tulimaliza deni. Hii deni itakuwa inalipwa forever, so there must be a time frame kulipa deni yako, na there must be, kama tumeshindwa kulipa deni then tuuze nchi ama tufanye namna gani? So tujue kabisa vile tutafanya. And remember also our policemen are in Haiti, uh, trying to bring calm to that particular nation. That particular nation is in anarchy. Kimanzi, have you ever seen the situation of anarchy in other African countries, that there's no rule of law, that maybe the army took over and they are not giving back power to the civilian? The country, we destroyed everything that we have built. So right now, for example, I always use this platform to advise, especially those who are looting uh, shops. Quickmart was looted for 3 good hours. Now, how many people do you think are employed at Quickmart? Wale asubuhi hawakupata nafasi ya kwenda kazini juu muliiba duka la Quickmart.
A lot of people have been left unemployed because of what happened. But again, in Kenya we have a lot of people who just take place in these activities. Of course, you have seen what happened during the campaigns. The Kenyans are saying that some of the Kenyans were sponsored by by even the leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the people who are just jobless, as we have said, people who worked in Nakumat, Naivas, worked in those supermarkets, they are taking care of their family. But again, After the closure, now they are unemployed. So what I can say is that again, it cuts across every person when it comes to this unemployment. So maybe we can get a solution. We can get a solution. We can get a solution because if other countries can solve this solution, we can solve even if it is 60%, because you cannot solve it 100% sure, but 60% will do Kenya good. Yeah.
Guys, we also have some charity event that we carry on 60 minutes that about this young lady. Even on 60 minutes, this is a program that ends exactly on the hour. So we are about to end, and our next show will begin at exactly in the next 2 hours. 2 hours or so. So we have got a charity event that we are trying to help one girl who passed so well to ensure that he goes to the university. His colleagues, his schoolmates are already in the university. So the story of Wendy is something that we make sure that we air here. We put it up here every other time, so that somebody who is philanthropic out there can help this young beautiful girl join the university. If you are watching us on X, please, 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 if you feel that you need to be of good assistance, this girl comes from Homa Bay County. We have tried to reach the Homa Bay team, and nobody, the leadership there, despite having the CDF and all that. This girl got a B plus from Duty Girls, and nobody is out there to take her to the university. So we, as a freak, we are doing to do our part to wear the story and possibly even contribute towards joining Kenyatta University. Wendy is very, very humble, very bright young girl from Niwa. If you come from that area, please get in touch with the numbers down there. I also have Wendy's dad's number. We'll share it with you. If you need more information, please get in touch with us. We will give you more information and more clarity on how you can support this particular event. By next week, we believe, God willingly, inshallah, Wendy shall be going to school. We would have done this much much earlier, apart from ni vile kumekuwa na msisimko hapa na pale, but let us make sure that Wendy goes to school. These are the small little things that you do, and you say, you are proud of yourself to have helped somebody go to school, and in return, God will reward you, and also she will be able to take other people the way she was helped to reach her heights. So we are doing that story for Wendy. Hopefully, that somebody out there will give her even a full scholarship, will fight so hard so that she goes to school. And now, Kimanzi, we are coming to a close. We have done the 1 hour of 60 minutes. I know you are drifting to sleep. You have an early morning. So give us your statement and how you want to see this country in the next few years that William Ruto is left with. And before you do that, comment also a bit on what the media is saying about Charlene Ruto. They are really crucifying Charlene Ruto. What do you think about it?
First, I want to say, Mzalendo, that media. You know, the work of the media is to go the other way. Media does not give the straight points. Of course, they are trying to dig information from William Ruto's daughter. But one thing I will only say, people are even questioning about if whether Charin Ruto is one of the family members of William Ruto. But that is bad because the father is the one who knows the origin of the child. So she's a daughter, she's still a human being. She is giving ideas and opinions about what is happening. So media should just keep up from Charlene, because if that girl, I want to tell you because I have been following her on the X, Instagram, Facebook, but mostly Instagram. That is where we have a lot of cyberbullying. that girl is 100% cyberbullied. Because I even saw today how she was bullied in one of the posts. So I think Kenyans should just stop this behavior and give anyone freedom to express. She just expressed ideas about what she thinks about the ongoing father's reign and where to be corrected. If Ruto is a father, he can make a mistake, and mistake can be corrected. So I think Kenya should just leave her alone. She's a human being. Let her make some correction to the government. She has her power to do that. Again, the father can listen to him the same way he listened to the Kenyans. Again, about what is ongoing, I think William Ruto should just wake up. It's time to wake up now and do the right thing. Sack all the cabinet secretaries, sack all those people around him, get the new ones, and let the work begin. Let's start now afresh. You should just do that. Those cabinet ministers, I don't know anyone who has just done everything to even the entire ministry. So I can say from the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Sports, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Energy, sack of them. Let them go home and relax. They don't know anything. I have this Ministry for Wildlife. I will not say his name. I also someone who is the head of Ministry for Households, that is the arid and semi-arid areas. Those are the people who are doing nothing, because I know where I come from, and this is an area where people need a lot of concern, but nothing is done. So I think you should just send them away. They have enjoyed what they did. They were just looting properties. Let them go and stay away from the government. Let him get new new members who can lead the country. Let's go for those who are active and want to lead the country. So that is my take home for William Ruto today.
Thank you. I would have asked you if what you think about Gen Zs moving to the counties. The counties seems not to be touched by these Gen Zs. They're only talking about the national government. What about the county governments, Mr. Kimanzi?
The problem here starts from the central government.
Mhm.
So if the central government now performs to the clamors, then the counties still, because counties are from the devolution. So these are things that should be done. If the counties get a lot of money, distribution of money, resources, then the governor will do the right thing. But if it starts from the top, then they cannot do anything.
Yeah, I agree with you. And viewers, we once again come to an end of this 1 hour of just trying to dig into what William Ruto and the Gen Zs had to say about their next move. This country needs good leadership, and we have seen that one William Ruto is somebody who needs good people around him to guide him and to show him that this is the way it is done. Most of what you are seeing in Kenya is that we had Uhuru Kenyatta's political appointments. There are good leaders who came with Uhuru Kenyatta. People are talking of the likes of Matiangi. If we want to unify this country, these people have learned their lessons. They've known that power is transient, and one, they will have to toe the line and listen to what the people on the ground are saying. So Matiang'i did a good job coming back to the cabinet to really help William Ruto, because right now he needs experience. There are other ministries like the ones for Isha Juma. We don't know what she really does in ministry. So those are some of the ministries that needs to be cut down, because the ministry come with the PSs, they come with a lot of stuff. But the only problem I have is that what are we going to do with the people who are going to be sacked, or the people who are going to be sacked? Have you ever thought about the people who work in these ministries. Now that we will not have Musalia as a ministry, where are his staff going to go? Mr. Kimanzi, staff wa Musalia Mudavadi wataenda wapi? Unajua, employing by law is another thing. Sacking is also another thing. There's a lot of legal hurdles that the government will have to face. Yeah, umeandika mtu kazi, then all of a sudden you tell him, this wewe sasa unaenda nyumbani, or you have to deploy them somewhere. Sijui watapelekwa wapi. The ministries that are being cut down in size because we are trying to reduce the budget, and they have already been earning a salary. Hawa jamaa wataenda wapi, Kimanzi? Pole kwa kurudisha nyuma, back and forth.
William Ruto now is now succumbing to what Jensinga said. So the pressure is so high. So I think when he said that today, he has a lot of pressure. But again, he will try to have them in the circle when he is trying to fix the nation. But of course, those are top politicians. Those are top people. They cannot lack something. They have already handed. I've just seen some people saying that they don't want even the MP seat. They don't want even the seats from the government come next general election. They are already full. So you don't have to worry about them.
All right. No need to worry about these seats. We have to revisit our constitution and ensure that the excess baggage, like women rep, wacha kukampeni hara sana. That seat is one of the most useless seats in the country. It needs to go. We have got 47 women rep. We have got 47, another 47 useless senators. We have got another 300. I don't know how many MPs. Then we have got MCS. Kenya is overrepresented. We only need 8 senators, 8 governors. Period. Let us go to the old boundaries. This constitution was only meant to keep one Moi out of power, and again the Raila out of power. This is how that constitution was made. This constitution was not meant for us. Constitution was meant for a bad leader or a dictator. But if you have a good leader, we can work within the framework of the constitution and have a lean government. But everybody in Kenya today wants to be part of the national cake. Kalonzo anataka kuwa kwa hiyo meza. Baba Raila Odinga wants to be on the table. Huko Western pia Waluya wanakuja na tawe, wanataka kukua kwa hiyo tawe, wakule pia kwa hiyo meza. Wakale pia wako nayo. Gachagua pia anakuja na Wakikuyu wao, wanakuja kukula kwa hii meza. Since when will we have a tribeless country? Gen Zs have already shown us the way that we don't need tribe to make decisions. We only need to unite people with the right values, the right goals, and then we will have a country that is not tribal. I mean, this is something that we need to do. Osam is saying to those who are talking about Fred Matiang'i is a big joke. We have competent people who can do better than him. Thank you, Awesome. That is something that is in the public domain. We saw how Matiang'i performed in the education sector. We have not seen anything like that before. It was one, just like Michuki did in the transport sector. We started wearing seatbelts without even being told. The Michuki rules worked. The cleaning of Nairobi River worked during Kibaki's time. So there are people who are old out there who can do a good job and a better job, to say so. Paris, what are you saying? Goodia, let's see what Goodia says. Mzalendo, we are already refugees in Kenya because there is no freedom of speech. You open your mouth, you are out. Hey, Kimanzi, hebu jibu Goodia hapo. Fungua mdomo na umepotelewa nawe. Eh? Mzale,
Yeah, we are not refugees. we still have a long way to go. We can correct where we made a mistake and we move on as a country.
I think you've heard that loud and clear, good year. We are not refugees in our own country. We have got the freedom of speech. You heard today your next president akiitwa all sorts of name. Wewe Zakayo ni mwizi, wewe Zakayo ni liar. And the president had to stomach all that, all that. Not, I don't think a president of the United States can take that, but the president of Kenya can take all that. I wish you watched the president of Tanzania being interviewed. Oh my God, hapo ndio kuna dictatorship, hapo ndio hakuna freedom of speech. The president of Tanzania bwana, hey, huyo ni dictator kabisa. The Tanzania, you need to wake up. They need to wake up and have democracy. They are being asked about the new constitution. They have no idea when they will have a new constitution and whether they need it or not. So, Kenya, we are on the right track. A good year, Ruto will never change. We are back to square one. Nigerian Gen Zs have organized a 10-day protest to remove the president. Wewe huyo president wa Nigeria. Why? Nani ameona president wa Nigeria? How did they even get there? Hmm? How did they even get there? Nigerian president. Who has seen Kimanzi? Ushaona president wa Nigeria? Do you know his name?
I only know Olegusun Obasanjo.
You only know huyu president anaitwa Bola somebody, Bola Tinedu, anaitwa Bola Tinedu or Bola Linedu, Bola Tinedu or some kitu kama hiyo. Ni jamaa mzee kabisa. But I was told he's damn rich. There are people who must rule Nigeria. Lazima wakuwe na hela mingi sana ndio kuwe rais wa kule Nigeria, and you must come from a particular community. So Bella Tinedu is favored to come from this community of rulers. That is why they elected him. So Nigeria is a complex kind of situation, not like in our situation. They have got tribal, and they look into other things also. So Bola Tinedu is the president. He's very old. I don't know whether he's finished his term, but they are looking forward to remove that president. Gen Zs wa huko Nigeria wameamua enough is enough. So Gen Zs have realized their power, and we are going to just be on the floor. So Goodyear, get your best trucks, best rubber shoes, whether it is dancing or what, so that we can be part of this group. Gen Zs have proved that they can make a difference in the Republic of Kenya. That is a big plus. Something that we were not able to achieve in my generation. Now, I leave you with a quote today. Enlightened leadership is spiritual. If we understand spirituality not as some kind of religious dogma or ideology, but as the domain of awareness where we experience value like truth and goodness. Hapo kwa truth ndio leadership imekosa kidogo, but goodness, I think Ruto is remorseful. Ruto has shown a bit of empathy on the particular situation. His family, I wanted to say personally, if you attack me, then my daughter will come for you. Whether I'm right or wrong, they will come for you and defend the family. That is the only right thing to do. So huyo Charlene amesimama na baba yake, na hiyo ni kitu mzuri sana. Hiyo ni kitu ni mzuri kabisa. Bwana jamaa ananiambia nicheze leo, ni siku ya utamaduni wa kisiasa, ni utamaduni ya Wakamba. Na bwana Boniface Kimanzi yeye ni mtamaduni maalum wa ng'omba za Kikamba. Hebu tuwekee ile ng'omba ya Wakilunda, ile inashika sana, na ile wewe unapendaga kusikia. Tusikie pale Wakamba wanasema namna gani juu ya ngoma zao.
Ilangalia masiwe ya kuwa iwakaewa takuite mbile na ndugu mwitu wa mwili. Ilangalia masiwe ya kuwa iwakaewa takuite mbile na ndugu mwitu wa mwili. Kaleli vyulyanzoma nokiuma kilomo pesa ni siandelele nikunya ilangona. Kaleli vyulyanzoma nokiuma kilomo pesa ni siandelele nikunya ilangona. Na wasioka wanzomenya na vilo vingagokume ndevye musi uyu witu kiveti chakwa uzuwie wamwena siana na indo nyeju nanti kitambase na kwa tambesa ngoka. Kaleli vyulyanzoma nokiuma kilomo pesa ni siandele ile nikunya ilangona. Kaleli vyulyanzoma nokiuma kilomo pesa ni siandele ile nikunya ilangona. No indwini la mata Mie ilo vingi dhukuma Nindi no kaubulela Mona ila tuikunda Tenga siai alamata Nundu waini waiawa Notai akesa umesia Kaleli vyulyanzoma Nokiuma kilomo pesa ni siandele ile nikunya ilangona. Kaleli vyulyanzoma nokiuma kilomo pesa ni siandele ile nikunya ilangona. Ni mumbile tukambite mudengi wate kokondwa embola ina kwa musi na ebandu kwendegwa uyikono kona tago ikomana na milokwa idi kwa musi. Kaleli vyulyanzoma nokiuma kilomo pesa ni siandele ile nikunya ilangona. Kaleli vyulyanzoma nokiuma kilomo pesa ni siandele ile nikunya ilangona. Nukatana mbaitu makaya nasiana simbe ngumbu tana yela wedayo nanduke sekweyelela tukese ukotomanya tamusumbe ketundumo kaleli byolyanzoma nokiuma kilomo besani syambele ile ilikunya ilangona kaleli byolyanzoma nokiuma kilomo besani syambele ile ilikunya ilangona.
Well.
Perfect.
And now tell us about that song. I think music is the soul. It's what roots the heart. There is no
Uh,
tribe.
absolutely.
There's no tribe in this world that doesn't have its own music. Yeah, any tribe, mention it. They have their kind of music. They have the way they play it. That is a traditional Kamba music. I could not stop, nodding my head. That song is so sweet. I don't know what it means. Maybe you tell us what those words mean to you. Yeah.
Absolutely, Mzalendo, in Ukambani, I want to welcome anyone who wants to live in Ukambani because this is where you are very beautiful and very good songs. Of course, that is one of the legends known as Ancient Munambu. Ancient Munambu, that song was released in the year 1968, but it still is a hit song. It is saying that you should enjoy when you are alive because when you are alive, you have every time. Make sure any second you live, you count. You go to club, you enjoy. You go to play football, you enjoy. You go to school, make sure you read and make every second count in your life. That is what he's saying. He's saying be happy when you are alive. That is why you can see him drinking alcohol. He's saying when you see me being drunkard, just take me home because I am enjoying every minute I am in this life. When you see me in club, just know that I am enjoying every minute. When you see me in school, I want to make sure that I learn everything and go home with that knowledge. So at the end of the day, he is saying, be happy when you are in this life because life is very short. That is why he's saying, make sure any second, any minute counts in your life. That is one of the legends in Ukambani known as Ancient Munambo, who is saying, again, when you meet a girl in the streets, don't just be reluctant. If you meet a girl and you see she is beautiful, go and spot her, talk to her. Anytime you will not see her again. And every minute in this life counts. That is what he's saying. And you can see him enjoying the life. He is one of the legends, Ancient Munambu. In Ukambani, he's saying, Tana ela wedhayo, matuku makonze ni manini. Be happy when you are in this life. Life is so short. Legend in Ukambani.
Wow, that is so wonderful, Kimanja. I have now known your strength. I hope that YouTube will not flag us down because of that beautiful song that we had to play in honor of the Kamba people. Is this musician still alive? I believe you know. I don't
No,
think
no,
he's
no,
still alive. It's the late.
no.
He's the late. May his soul rest in peace. His music is still very beautiful. We still listen to your music.
I shall be giving you more songs from
Yeah,
Kambani. I
yeah.
know more songs from, I know every song from every tribe in Kenya. You ask me
Wow.
a song in Kikuyu, I'll tell you. You ask me a song in Iluya, I'll tell you. You ask me my favorite song in Giriama, then I will tell you. So any day we shall be giving you a very hit song. Those old songs.
Give me a favorite song in Doluo.
In
In
the
Luo.
Luo,
Yeah.
there is a legend in Luo known as Musa Juma. That is what
Oh,
I'll be telling.
Musa Juma. Oh my God. You are a true legend.
Tomorrow,
Hey. Oh my
Tomorrow,
God, you know these things, eh?
tomorrow
Hey,
I'll be giving you one song in Luo.
no,
Musa
that is
Juma.
so interesting. So you know that Musa Juma is a legend in Luo music.
Of
Oh,
course,
that is wonderful.
that is
That
my
is
research
wonderful.
I've done. I
Mm-hmm.
have done a research in 42 ethnic
Mm-hmm.
groups in Kenya.
Maybe Paris should tell us from a tribe or his tribe the kind of music they want to listen to for the legend. Tell us where you come from, and Kimanzi will give you a legend in that particular tribe and how they've been enjoying the music in the past, and the
Let
music.
them, and also they need to be aware that we are soon starting up a program here for entertainment in
Yeah,
Africa 24.
I think that program suits you so well. I think that program, Rio nimeweka correct, since you know so much about music better than myself, and especially traditional music. That is what we need to do. We need not to forget our tradition, but we also not need to know that yes, we come from a particular tribe, but let that not be overtaken by the political events of the day. We are trying to be a tribeless country where Gen Zs have taken over without any boundaries. Today I'm listening to Kamba music from Kambaland, and it's so sweet. It is something that I can listen. In fact, I'm going to download it and listen to that music each and every time. This is something that if you put in a powerful stereo in your car, you'd enjoy the music. I didn't know what it means, but it has got a powerful message that people need to learn from these legends. So nashukuru sana for those who have been with us throughout the session. We have done again an extra 30 minutes. It never ends on a freak. Once we start speaking, you'll see people coming in. So in the next 2 hours, we will have our marathon show that runs all the way Mbaka Asubuhi. And we hope to see Black, we hope to see Darius on that particular show. Makiadi will be coming along. We'll have quite a number of people coming on the show this evening. So please, please, please stay tuned, and don't dial that button when they kwa channel ingine. And remember, if you're watching us on X, make sure that you have subscribed on Afrique 20 on Afrique 24 on YouTube, and follow us also on Facebook, our Facebook page. Leave a comment on our YouTube page. Even if you don't want to subscribe, just leave a comment. Tell us how you'd want us to do this program in a better way, so that everybody can enjoy. Everyone is moving towards the digital platform right now. We need quality shows, quality discussions that are informative. And if you want to participate on Afrique, the doors are open. Just shoot an email to africd a, africdq 24 hours at gmail.com. Let me put it down there for you, so that you can shoot for us an email, and we can get started and see whether you can be part of this wonderful team. Afric D 24 hours at gmail.com. That's our email address. That's our email address. Please, 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 please make sure that you give us an email where you feel that we need to improve on our programs. Also, tell us. We are very moderate in our discussions. We try to have a balanced discussion. We are not biased to any political party. We love our country, Kenya. We don't want it to go into smokes. We want good governance. We want transparency. We want to also to end corruption. And if you have a solution to some of these things, if you are a good public speaker on a particular program, on a particular topic, maybe it's finance, immigration, and so many employment. If you've got an opportunity out there that you need a youth who is dedicated and willing to work, please make sure you send that opportunity to a freak, so that we can put it out there, advertise for you for free. We can even make for you a generic advert for free, so that our youths can get an opportunity in your organization. So please, 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 please don't hesitate to advertise with us. Don't hesitate to give us information. If you have anything silly that you need to share with us, also share with us. A silly joke will go a long way. Otherwise, we come to an end to this particular show. Karibuni tena in the next 2 hours with our panelists who are going to take us all the way until asubuhi ya Kenyan time. Otherwise, asanteni.